What's up, and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast for episode number 339. Wonder?
Glad you knew the episode number because I didn't.
You never do. That's okay.
That's not true. Every once in a while, though.
That sounds like communist propaganda to me.
You know, technically, everything is. Depends on your point of view.
No, it's really not. I guess it depends on your definition of communist, because most people are too stupid to know what that means.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So, but, anywho's, yeah. I'm tired. I've had a very long day.
It's not like you even had to do much. You just worked and then came home.
I didn't even go to work.
This man's not even going to work. What does he have to be tired about?
Well, I got up early to go to work, and then Rena wasn't feeling good this morning, apparently, so...
No, she had a migraine.
Yes, yeah. So she got a hold of Aspen, and then so I just opted to stay home. Meanwhile, while I was sitting at home, I had been looking at this vehicle over in the Nebraska area, where Aspen went to college, and decided that we wanted that vehicle and didn't want to wait for someone else to buy it out from under us. Because do you know how much of a pain in the ass it is to find a nice vehicle that doesn't have some stupid ass salvage title or a rebuild title or anything like that? Completely ridiculous. And then the fact that they want, $30,000 still for a rebuilt title or a salvage title, no, because you know why that makes that such a pain in the ass? You can't get loans, you can't get insured, you can't get shit on salvage titles and rebuild titles and shit. So yeah, so we finally found a vehicle that was newer, didn't have a million miles on it, and was under $20,000. So we decided to go get it. And I was gonna have my mother watch Tatum while I went up there to look at it, and then my buddy from the bank that I've been working with on getting the loan told me that, hey, if they'll take a personal check, I'll cover it if you guys want to bring it home today. So I was like, well, shit, now I got to have somebody else go with me. So I was going to have my mom watch Tatum and then grab my dad and go up there. And I found out they were in town and were unavailable. So I got a hold of Aspen and said, hey, you want an excuse to get out of work? And she couldn't, she didn't even hesitate. She was like, all right, I'm coming. And so she came home real fast, and we hauled ass up there to get about a 2.5 hour drive. We hauled ass up there and looked at it. We test drove it. Was able to talk them down a little bit on the price, and which is good because I started out with we were looking at a vehicle out of Omaha, and it was a Traverse, which is originally what we wanted. And it was cheaper and had less miles. So I'd go through the information, looking at it, don't say anything about salvage title or rebuild title or nothing. And so that was the original vehicle that I was going to try and get a loan for. That vehicle was $17,000. And then I wanted a personal loan also because we're putting central air into our house, which we have local heating and cooling company coming to give us a quote on a week from today. So I was like, I'll knock out two birds, one stone, just get one big personal loan and just get all of this stuff done. And because it wasn't terrible interest rates for today's interest rates, I should say. So, but anyway, it was going to be like $515 a month for my monthly payment for this loan. And then I found out that that other vehicle had a salvage title, and knew that I wouldn't be able to get a loan for that vehicle. So I was like, well, that's out. So then I went back to this vehicle that we were looking at, and had him had my banker run the numbers. And he said, oh, well, because the vehicle is, instead of a 2018, it's a 2022. It's a newer vehicle, so you get better interest rates on the loan. And so he's like, that takes your total payments, if you stay at $25,000 loan, to like $485 a month. And I was like, okay, well, what if I increase that loan by $2,000? What would my payment be? And he says, well, that would be, for a $27,000 loan, that would be $522 a month. And I'm like, well, shit, I was okay with the $515 for $7 more. I'm getting a vehicle that's a 2022 and, you know, a couple $1,000 more, and
Yeah.
honestly, probably a better vehicle, family vehicle, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
So anyway, yeah. But anyway, I was gonna have to do two separate loans technically, because they can do a loan on the vehicle itself, like financing a vehicle, and that's fine, and that you get the lower interest rates for that. But he said the other loan for the HVAC unit and the central air unit, that will be, it's considered an unsecured loan, because you're borrowing money and there's nothing that secures that money. There's nothing that like says, hey, this money is, you know, if they can't pay it, there's nothing to cover that. The bank is just out that money basically. So the interest rate are like over 10% for an unsecured loan. I was like, oh shit, I don't want that. And then I looked out the window and I'm like, well, I own my pickup. Can I use that as collateral? And, you know, would that work? And he goes, well, what's your VIN number and what year is it? And I'm like, well, it's a 2011. Here's the VIN number. Went and took a picture of it. And he ran the numbers, and he's like, well, shit, your truck's still worth, even though it's a 2011 and it's got 220,000 miles on it, it's still worth $8,700 on the books. So he says you can loan up to $8,700, and that would be considered a secure loan, and you would get the lower interest rates. And I can combine the two loans and make it just one loan, because it would be the same interest rate. I was like, well, I'd rather do that. So then it's just one payment, and I only have to worry about one loan. You know, the only time he said the only thing that could cause problems is if like someday you want to get rid of the pickup and you haven't paid this off yet. It makes it kind of a pain in the ass, because the whole loan isn't paid off, and it just makes some problems. I was like, well, you know, I don't plan on getting rid of the pickup anytime soon. I was like, if the motor blows on it, I plan on putting a new motor in it.
Yeah.
That's how much I like this pickup. So I was like, and then once you pay the loan off, the title gets released back to you anyway, as if nothing happened. So he's like, yeah, if that's the way you want to go, there's no big issue with that. And so I was like, yeah, I'd rather just do that. That way everything's all in one spot, and I don't have to chase loans and have technically 3 different loans in my name, you know? So anyway, yeah, was able to get a $27,000 loan, and should be able to, I got the vehicle, it's parked in the shop now, and got the HVAC guy coming a week from today, and hopefully we can get 2 birds with 1 stone knocked out, and it's only an extra, you know, $522 a month. And then I had to get insurance today. So, because Aspen and I are married, so once you get married, they have a hard time with staying on your folks' insurance. So she was on her folks' insurance, and I was on mine still.
How are you on yours still?
Because it was a family plan thing. So
weird. Normally you're kicked off it as soon as you turn 26.
No, that's medical insurance, not car insurance.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm talking car insurance.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I should have said something about
I
that.
was like, wait, that doesn't
But
make sense, but that does.
nope. So we got I got car insurance for Aspen and I both, and I was expecting to be murdered on that insurance because young couple and just getting insurance for the first time. I thought I was gonna get murdered. It actually wasn't that bad. So I don't know what it's gonna be once they add this vehicle, but actually, according to my insurance lady, she said that it might actually end up being cheaper because it would become a multi-vehicle thing package, and sometimes they're cheaper. But right now, as is, I pay 6 months up front because it gives me a discount. I pay $332 for 6 months. So I just have a reoccurring cost of $332 every 6 months, which I thought wasn't that bad. Because I've seen other people's um, insurance for vehicles and stuff, and just some of them are, like $150 a month.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I thought that was a good deal. We'll see what it looks like after we get this new vehicle insured. But yeah,
Ow.
got a lot going on all of a sudden. Well, that's kind of just been my life for the last 2 years. It's just been a million miles an hour.
Yes, you do
So,
keep going a little crazy about it.
well,
It's really funny because it was like, we don't know if we're doing the car or the AC first. All right, we're going to do the AC first. Actually, we've done both. Brother does not know how to make a decision.
well, when we came back from Rollins and our house was 90 degrees, we decided the AC needed to happen. But then um, we keep having problems, like just being a pain in the ass with trying to get Tatum in and out of pickups, and hard for Aspen to do things there, and it's just a pain in the ass.
Hmm.
And so I got fed up with it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go see what the banker can do for me. Which is funny because the guy that like runs the bank, I play a lot of poker with. So he was like super helpful. And because I already banked there, he was like, well, I got most of your information. All I need is basically you need to call Aspen and have her, confirm that I can run her credit score. And then after that, you know, he says, I can take care of the rest. And this is, if you want to do this, this, I can make this pretty painless. And I was like, shit. And then I was expecting, like, I go to do this loan, the interest was going to be freaking, because it's a smaller loan, was going to be like 12% or something, and I was going to have a $800 and $900 an extra a month type, payments. When I found out it was only going to be $522 a month, I was like, well, shit, I can swing that, because my original house payments was going to be like $2,400 a month, because I was technically going to have two different mortgage. Decided to do something a little different there, so I didn't have that. But like, it would have been high interest because I had two separate loans in my name, and it would have been, a couple $1,000s a month. Just that I was like, I was willing to do that. So I get an extra $500 a month, and I get Central Air, which that in itself is gonna save me at least over $100 a month, because right now, as is, these air conditioners run 24/7 and never shut off. The Central Air uses the same power as one of these, and once it gets to temperature, it shuts off, and it's not running constantly. So I did the math and looked up the averages and stuff, and I figured it's going to save me at least $100 a month by going to Central Air on my electric bill. So it's going to pay itself off fairly easily just by putting Central Air in. So
Fair.
plus,
Absolutely.
this new vehicle that we have, it is cheaper on gas because Aspen's truck that she has now, it you have to run premium through it, otherwise it starts having issues.
Fun.
And you know how expensive freaking premium is. It's always
Uh-huh.
$130 every time you fill it up. This new vehicle will probably be, a lot cheaper. Plus, it goes like 535 miles on a full tank of gas, and it's half the gallons that the truck is. So, and the other nice thing, because Aspen was asking, she's like, well, because she has a hard time about well, it's a van, we ended up getting a Chrysler van, and she's like, man, I don't know, because we were kind of dead set on a Traverse. After we decided, because we wanted an Equinox too, but we decided that the Equinox might be a little too small.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted a Traverse. Well, then this van just kept popping up, and I'm like, man, that's the best deal I've found, and it doesn't have a salvage title, and it's newer, fairly low miles on it. I was like, I kept bringing it up, and finally Aspen's like, you know what? I think I can live with it. So we hauled ass down there and got it. And now that we've been in it, it's amazing. And you look at the specs between the Chrysler vans and the Traverses, because she was like, well, am I going to have a problem having power to pass people on the road and stuff? And I was like, well, they basically have the same motor that the Traverses do, and they have like slightly less horsepower, but when it comes like 0 to 60 is only like a tenth or two of a second to difference between the Traverse and the minivan, and that's because the van is like a heavy vehicle. They're like over 4,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And so and then it gets better gas mileage than the Traverse because it's front wheel drive, not all wheel drive, which people are like, oh god, it's not all wheel drive. You're gonna get killed on slick roads. Well, front wheel drives aren't too bad as a van because they're so heavy and all the weight is on the front tires. So all your traction's right there anyway.
Front wheel drives are never bad in the snow, anyways.
Right, you're pulling the weight, not pushing. That's why you don't want just rear wheel drive.
Yeah,
that's where you're going to get in trouble. So I was like, honestly, the front wheel drives will drive just fine on slick roads if you're not an idiot, So I didn't have a problem with that because it's the Voyager, not the
Pacifica.
Pacifica, yeah, it's the Voyager, which is basically the Pacifica, except it's just the kind of cheaper package. It's not all-wheel drive, or it doesn't have the four-wheel drive package. It doesn't have the TV screens on the back seat. It doesn't have all that stuff. It's just the very generic brand. Most of the time, the only time the Voyager is bought is by like companies and stuff and like rental vans. That's what they're used for most of the time. And I'm pretty sure that's what this was. It was just a rental van out of, I think he said he bought it out of New Mexico, I think, or something like that. And, so.
Fun.
But, yeah, so anyway, that's why it was so cheap compared to the Pacificas, which were, for more mileage, they wanted $28,000 for one that had 20,000 more miles on it, but just because it's just the upgraded version or whatever, it has more bells and whistles. But honestly, and then the other thing I noticed is on the Traverses, they have like their storage space is like 96 cubic feet, I think. And then the storage space on this van, all of the seats fold down into the floor completely. So you could literally make the whole back, like if you needed a place to sleep or something, you just fold all the seats down and roll your sleeping bag out, and you have like a massive. You could park a Volkswagen in the back of that thing. I swear. That's how much. But they have like. So the Traverse has like 96 cubic feet. This has like 148 cubic feet. That's how much of a difference there is as far as room inside of this van. And honestly, they're not that much difference in size, to be honest. So
Interesting.
as far as like the actual feel of the vehicle itself,
Hmm.
uh, I don't know. I have always personally liked driving Chrysler vans. I actually drove one for a really long time. My mom started off with a red one, like in early 2000s, maybe late 90s, red Chrysler van.
Hmm.
And that's what I took my driving test with. I drove it forever, and then my brother and his wife drove it forever. I'm pretty sure that thing had like 400 plus thousand miles on it by the time they sold it.
Hmm.
And they sold it to some high schooler who then drove it forever. So, like, I don't know. I've always liked. I like the feel of them because I hate to. I'm a person that hates seeing hood when I'm driving because the more hood I see, the bulkier I feel. And the minivans are nice because their hoods come out and they go straight down, pretty much. So you don't see much hood at all. Kind of like my pickup. That's how my pickup is too. It doesn't come up and go straight, and then you have kind of a flat surface in the front, and so all you see all while you're driving is hood, you know. So I don't know. I've always liked them. I think it worked out. It's already like just putting. We actually so we brought Tatum with us so we could put her in the car seat in the back seat just to see how easy it is to put it back there, put the car seat back there. And it was so much. It was like night and day. It was so nice compared to trying to put it in the back of the truck. We have to stick, climb up into it and then reach over, and it's just a pain with a pickup. But with this, and then you got the sliding door that opens, and so you don't have a door in your way while you're trying to get the car seat in there, and the wind's trying to shut it on you, and so I don't know. I'm happy. Aspen seems to be like, well, and it's funny because we test drove it, and then when we were headed home, I'm like, well, I mean, I'll drive it home, and she's like, I don't think so. I'm driving it home. I was like, okay.
Well,
She'll be driving it.
yeah, she's gonna drive it most. She deserved to drive it
I was
home.
about to say she's going to be the one that drives it every day, so she might as well get used to driving it. So, um, another thing that's nice about it is the headlights are nicer than her truck. That her truck has shitty headlights.
I get that.
You could get smacked in the face with an elephant and not know what the hell you hit on the road. That's how bad the headlights are.
I get that. Oh man, I want a new car.
Yeah.
I don't get one. I don't get nothing, but I want one.
I want you to, hit big on YouTube one of these days or something like that, and then just employ me for a couple 100,000 a year.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to be able to afford to be alive, but
Right.
I don't know, man.
Mhm.
I blame somebody. I don't know who,
The
but I blame
universe.
somebody. The universe kind of fucking sucks, and I hate them. I hate it. I hate
Whoever's running it.
really though. Whoever's running it's kind of an asshole, if I'm honest.
Right. I mean, I can't complain too much. I mean, my side of the life has gone. It's been a lot in a little bit of time, but like, if I had to choose over again, I'd do the same thing all over again.
Yeah.
Aspen and I are doing fairly well for ourselves. I mean, obviously, because we just keep taking loans out, not worrying about it, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I can say that the things that have happened to me are somewhat of a blessing because it's motivate because if I didn't meet Aspen, there's a good chance that I never move on from my previous job that I was at.
Yeah.
Ditch riding, and I'd still be getting paid $18 an hour, and wishing for someday I might get to own a house, and you know because I was in a relationship and wanted to be out of the house, my folks' house, and go find a place to live and stuff. That
Mhm.
prompted me to go get a better job, and then I got the better job, and then Aspen moves in with me, and then we end up with a baby and the marriage and all that stuff, and that just prompted me to work hard to get raises and promotions, and
Mhm.
so it's just
I
been
wish
a
it was that
domino
easy all the
effect.
time.
Right. Yeah, I know.
I really do.
I can say it's been a good bit of luck.
Yeah.
I can say I can be doom and gloom and be Debbie Downer as much as I want, but I gotta say that I've been fairly fortunate
Yeah.
in the last few years of my life. So I am sitting much better off than probably 90% of the population.
Yeah.
And that to me is disturbing, because I am we're not doing bad, but like
Mhm.
we're not like prospering, I should say, like you would think somebody in my position would.
Right.
So it makes me feel for the people who, you know, work those single jobs, and they're by themselves. They don't have two sources of income, and they might be getting paid $20 an hour and still be living and scratching to get by, and surviving off of ramen noodles. And it drives me nuts, because I don't know how many times, especially at work, there's a lot of older people I work with, and they're just like, "Oh, you goddamn young kids don't want to work anymore." It's like, well, it's because they don't want to work 4 jobs and not have a life.
Yeah.
They work themselves to death. You got kids having heart attacks at 30.
Yeah. The thing, nobody wants to work. Actually, no, we just want the life you promised us that you took away. You got to work
Mhm.
a single job and be able to afford a brand new house and a brand new car and go to college. Where now,
Right.
college costs as much as your house did. Car costs as
Mhm.
much as your house did. The house costs literally 20 times what your house did. It costs,
Yeah.
look, I get it. You can buy a cheaper house for 200 grand in the middle of nowhere. But if you want even a fixer upper in any version of a city, and guess what? In the middle of nowhere, there's no fucking job for you to be able to afford that fucking house, anyways. So you got to live in a
Right.
place with people, but to live there, a fixer upper is $500,000. That's what you get to pay. And
Yeah.
it's a
Five
piece
hundred
of
thousand
shit.
dollars. $500,000, and the roof is leaking, and there's cats living in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like, I don't get the like, we'll just move to somewhere with less people. Yeah, but those places have no fucking jobs.
Yeah.
Nowhere really has jobs. And you can get lucky, and sometimes you can manage to get one in one of those places, but how do you start that until you decide to move there? And how do you move somewhere with no guarantee of a job? How does that make any
Right.
fucking sense? I don't understand this. Well,
Right.
you can just go somewhere else. No, you can't. That's not how anything has ever worked in the history of the
Well,
world.
yeah, the other one that I heard is that's driving me nuts is the older guys go, "Well, you guys are complaining about these interest rates these that days. You guys don't even know what high interest rate is. Back in my day when I bought a house, it was 11% interest rate." I'm like, yeah, Jared, but your house was fucking $30,000.
Yeah.
11% interest rate on a $30,000 house ain't that bad.
Right?
8% interest rate or 9% interest rate on a $500,000 house, you're paying more interest than the fucking house is worth. Yeah. So eat shit. You don't know.
Yeah, no. It pisses me off. We're stuck in an awful spot. I don't know. There's a lot of things that have been happening that I just can't talk about, but it's like constantly everything is awful all the time. And I just want something to go right at some point. That'd be nice.
Right. Yeah.
Instead, I get whatever this is. Like this weekend, guess what I get to do starting Friday? Literally nothing. Because for some reason, this apartment building comes to inspect all of the appliances fucking randomly. So sometime between Friday and Monday, and anytime between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., they're gonna show up eventually at my apartment and come look at appliances. That's not a thing. If there's something wrong with a fucking appliance, I'll tell you, and you can spend make me wait 2 months to hear anything back because you're a piece of shit. But so I have to just sit around because we can't go do anything because we
Right.
have a cat. And I don't trust the dumb bitches that run this fucking complex to not let our cat out.
Right. Yeah. Ugh.
So I just get to sit here and do fucking nothing all weekend because they all suck. And they're going to come in and what? Look at it and go, huh, it seems to be working. And I'm going to go, yeah, this could have been a fucking email. Get the fuck out of my apartment. Why the hell are you here? I lived in a way nicer building and they didn't do the dumb shit that this stupid ass community needs to do, which doesn't even make sense because when we moved in, none of the shit fucking worked. So did you not inspect it when the previous people lived here and when they moved out? And then before I moved in, did you fucking do nothing? Why are you checking it now? Fuck off. Like, genuinely.
Right. Like I think I think I would be okay with sending somebody an email or something, or a text message or something like that, even if it's like a group text message or a mass text message that says, hey, type yes if appliances are working properly, no if there's a problem. Which most likely, if there's a problem, somebody's gonna fucking let you know about it.
Yeah.
People like to use their appliances. If their microwave's not working or if their stove's not fucking working, they're gonna tell you. I don't understand that one. That to me seems like they're violating privacy more than they're checking on appliances.
It's like they just want to find out if you're doing something wrong, I guess.
Right. But they want to make sure you're not growing marijuana plants in their building. I don't know. To me, it just sounds like they're just being snoopy.
Right. And I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. That would piss me off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm annoyed about it. I'm probably going to be a dick about it when I let them in here.
So my question is that written in the contract that they have?
Genuinely don't know.
I would read up on that because if it's not in the contract, I would tell them that this is a violation of privacy. Just because this is still your domain that you live in, which is protected. So unless they have a valid reason to enter your space.
See, and it doesn't even just have to be in the agreement. There's a lot of weird things landlords and, these companies just get to do because renters have literally zero protection in this country for some reason. And yeah, it's the only thing 90% of people will ever be allowed to do because somehow I can afford to pay rent here, but I can't buy a house where the loan payments would be less than my rent here.
I will say part of that's the state you're in, because even our state, which isn't like considered a big renter state, has protections against landlords entering. Even if you own the building, that is their domain that they pay to live in. You don't get to. It is considered trespassing to enter someone's, apartment without a valid reason or something like that. And a lot of times there's a process you have to go through. So like if somebody's not paying their bill or something or paying their rent, or if there's a valid complaint, they have to go through a process in order to legally be allowed to enter into that space. And when I was a bartender, there's a couple of people that would come in and they own some apartment complexes in the town that I bartended in. And they would come in and constantly complain about the fact that they couldn't go in and check on things because they knew for a fact that there was stuff going on, but they had to go through a whole drawn out process in order to even just check on it. Because in order for them to enter it, they either A, have to have permission to enter by the people that are renting, or they have to get like permission through a court, almost like a search warrant. So yeah, I don't know. I would look into that just in case you do have protections and be like, hey, I don't really feel comfortable with you guys entering my space with just randomly, Yeah. Unless there's a valid reason. If there's something that I need you for, I'll let you know. But until then, don't enter my space. This is where I live. You may own it, but I live here. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just awful and annoying. And I hate it. I hate this place.
Like, especially since like, if So like if you're not there, they still come in and inspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that whoever they have hired to go in and inspect doesn't decide, oh shit, this is expensive, I'm gonna take it.
Right.
And then what are you gonna do? Because then it's just a he said, she said, oh, there's no proof, and you just had your shit stolen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's another problem I have with it. I do not want people entering where I live and where I have my money without, you know, without me being there or even having an opportunity to be able to come in while I'm not there. I don't know. That's just to me that seems fucking a little fishy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ugh. And
But yeah,
then,
it's really annoying and I hate it.
yeah. Yeah. But anyway, got the vehicle, got back, and then got in the door, and then turned around and went right back out the door for the fire meeting. So, and then I'm also spending more money on a Flight for Life plan. Um, so we get a discount through because we're on the fire department on Flight for Life plans. So usually it's like $1,200 to $1,700 for like a 10-year plan or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
For just average Joe person, but because I'm on the department, it's only like 500 and something dollars, and it's a one-time payment for 10 years of coverage. So, and it just completely covers your whoever, like you and whoever's in your household, pretty much. So, you know, somebody gets in an accident or something happens, and we have to get Flight for Life, it'll be covered because it's so like to go from here to Greeley, Colorado, say for instance, with a Flight for Life, is like $134,000. It's $100,000 just to go from here to Cheyenne. So, and then I looked at, I was going to do this last year, but I didn't know if my company had a ambulance fee. Usually the company will call it ambulance
Mm-hmm.
fee or whatever, ambulance coverage. It also covers Flight for Life usually. So mine only covers $10,000. I was like, that doesn't even cover an eighth of what it would cost for me to go to like get flown to someplace if I get injured. So yeah, I am. I don't mind paying $500 once every 10 years to have full coverage if I ever end up getting Flight for Life or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know September is going to be a very busy month for me, so I don't know what that's going to mean for podcast stuff.
Figure it out. Don't be such a weirdo.
So I'll tell you what my schedule is for September and October.
Mm-hmm.
So September 12th through the 14th, I believe. No, 12th. September 11th through the 13th is I'm doing a fire academy. Um, it's over by the big town to the east of us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so yeah, it's a 3-day training. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then that Monday, I'll go back to work for one day. And then that Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm taking my former boss to go try and get an elk. He's never shot an elk, and so I'm going to try and get him an elk so he can quit complaining about not getting an elk. And then that following weekend, I'm going to try and get Aspen her elk. And then the following weekend after that, I'm going to try and get my elk. And then the following weekend after that, I'm going to try and get my antelope. And then that following week, Aspen and I leave on that Sunday to go to our honeymoon. And we're gone for a full week there. And then when I get back from that honeymoon, Cody and I are going up on the peak again to try and get his elk. So from like September, the beginning of September, all the way till like mid to late October, I'm pretty much busy. I will still be able to do the podcast here and there, you know.
Yeah,
But
ridiculous.
there might be one that I might not be able to do, and that's the one that where I do the elk hunt. But I'm thinking that I shouldn't miss any, but
Or we
just
could
in
just
case.
do the Which elk hunt are you worried
So-
that you'll miss? Because you can't say the one where I do the elk hunt when 4 of the different things you said were
Right.
elk hunts. That didn't help
So-
me at all.
The only one that lands, not the elk hunt technically, because the only elk hunts that will get in the way would be the one where I take my former boss,
Mhm.
which we're just hunting in this area, and if
Also,
we
you're
go out in the
home on
morning-
Monday anyways, so we could just do Monday.
right, or Tuesday even, because
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure unless even if we get something, typically because of where it's in this area, you know where I hunt in this area.
Mhm.
And it's usually if we get something, it's shot by 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and I have it packed out and in the freezer by 11. So I can still do a podcast even if we are successful on that hunt.
That's true.
So that's not the one I'm worried about. The one I will miss probably is the following, or that it would be the first week of October when we go on our honeymoon.
Mhm.
I will be out of town, so
Yeah,
I will be meeting up with you at some point.
I was
in
gonna
that
say
week.
you can always come over
that
on
Wednesday?
Wednesday. Yeah, record
Right.
one in person.
Yeah, that'd be nutty.
That'd be funny.
We probably won't do that because
I
we
know.
have other things we have scheduled. We paid like it was like $2,500 by itself just to do all of the stuff that we have planned.
Yeah.
Like we plan on going like on a scenic train ride, and we're gonna go up to there's a mine somewhere apparently Aspen has us signed up for, where you can go up there and they'll take you down in the mine and you get a pan for some gold or
No fun.
look at gold and shit. I was really interested in that. She's like, "Would you want to do that?" I'm like, "Fucking yeah." So I look forward to that. And then yeah. But I think it'll be fun. So like the Rollins trip was kind of the first time Aspen and I got to like go and be by ourselves, where somebody
Yeah.
would come with us.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. The couple days, even though she was like gone for most of it, like it was really nice to like that night go out to dinner and just enjoy each other's company, So I very much look forward to our honeymoon. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I know that Aspen's folks are going to have a lot of fun while they're watching Tatum and we're gone, because Aspen's. So it was just going to be her mother coming down, but her dad's coming also. He decided he didn't want to get left out on seeing the grandchild, and so he's going to be here too to help her out. And then he is also going to buy an elk tag while he's down here. So in the mornings, he's going to get up and go out and do some elk hunting and see if he can't get himself an elk while we're, gives him something to do, rather than just kind of sit around the house. And so that seems like fun for them. It's going to be fun for us. It's a fun time for me because hunting, I enjoy that. And also, I hope we actually have winter this year. I'm so sick and tired of Christmas being 80 degrees.
I do and don't. I don't really want snow. I don't like super cold.
Right. Well, I mean, I've always never liked the heat. I've always been a person that likes the cold because I've always been a strong believer in you can always put more clothes on. There's ways you can warm yourself up, but there's only so much you can do to cool yourself off. There's only so much clothes. There's only so much clothes I can take off before it's public indecency. So,
but also, there's only so many clothes you can put on before you literally can't fucking do anything. Like, go try to do something in the winter. Like, when it's negative 40 degrees, go outside and try to do something. You ain't doing fuck. You're gonna go inside after 5 minutes and go, I'm cold. That's what you're gonna do. Oh, you want to work on your truck? You can't. You want to go do anything ever at any time? You can't. The only benefit of winter is you can sit inside and it's slightly cheaper because it's cheaper to run your heater than it is your AC. That's it.
I like it because if I have to sit inside all day, I can play fucking video games. I'm cool with that. And then also in the summertime, it's kind of the same thing. If I want to do something outside and it's 112 degrees, I'm not going to do shit outside. So
It's
it's
just
kind
because
of
you're being a whiner. Just go
double
do it.
whammy. Yeah, and
You
well,
used to go do it, and you
I
used to
used
go
to,
do
but
real things.
yeah, I used to go do it, but now when I go outside and I get too hot, I fucking get dizzy and want to pass out. So
Because you still act like you did back then. Drink some fucking water, dipshit.
drink that shit. That shit's toxic.
I'm gonna
You've seen all the
shoot you.
people that everybody that drinks water dies. Just saying.
Yeah, and everybody that breathes air dies. So fucking stop breathing.
I blame water.
Mm-hmm. Did
You know
you know
why people die from breathing
100%?
air?
Did you know 100% of people who live die? It's fucking crazy.
You don't know that. Have you ever seen anybody that have you seen every single person in history ever
Yes.
die?
Yes.
Nope. You have not. You've
Yes, I
never seen
have.
them die. You've only seen the people around you die.
No, I've seen everybody.
But you know why you die from breathing oxygen?
Mm.
Because there's humidity in the air, which is technically water. So that's why water's toxic. It kills you.
Sure, man. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
Everything you're drinking is 99% water. I hate to break it to you.
I can just hear Jedi or somebody screaming at the screen right now because it's such a stupid conversation.
Yeah.
The fuck are you guys even talking about? I don't know. This is what happens when you run out of shit to talk about. After doing this for what, 6 years straight,
Uh-huh.
never missing a week after 6 years, you run out of shit to talk about sometimes.
Yeah. It also, some weeks are boring. And right now, everything fun in my life is things I can't talk about. Actually, there's not really that much fun happening. So there's just really nothing to talk about. It's just things are bad, and it's not really anything I want to put on the internet.
Right.
So that's fun. So it's like,
Yeah.
what am I going to talk about? Nothing. Because nothing that cool is
Right.
happening.
That's true. I know.
And so it's
Well,
like, I don't know.
hopefully there's some like concerts or something coming up that you're excited for, or you know. Are you ever going to go to like a NFL game since
I
you
don't
have
know.
a like Broncos right there?
The Broncos
Uh,
are
do the-
really expensive. For no reason, I am thinking about going to a preseason game because the Vikings are here for a preseason game.
well, there you go. That'd be fun.
But it's
Just
the
kinda
third
get to-
preseason game, so like no first or second string players will play. So it's like, ah,
right.
ah.
Still good to see them stand over there on the sideline. You know,
Maybe they might not even have showed up.
they usually show up, don't they?
I
To
don't know.
support their teammates.
Dog, by the time the third preseason game comes around, I'm not paying attention
Right. True.
to who's like going. I'm paying attention to the players on the field because there's like 3 guys who I thought I liked during training camp that now I'm like, but is he any good?
Right. Well, that's kind of me right now too. So I'm pretty sure the only person out of everybody that I'm fairly confident for is the 4th round linebacker we got. Or I think he's the only one that apparently has been like really, really good during like camp and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. You know something that blows my mind though? Like I swear to God, I looked on Mixer. Is it Mixer? What's the app we use for our dynasties?
That's Sleeper. Mixer was the old
Sleeper.
streaming
That's
company.
That's right. Sorry, I was close. It had in it.
Be careful.
Do not say that on Chandler's stream.
Oh, I'm sorry. That just lives in my head from the. I've sent you that clip from the basement yard
Yep.
where he's drawing the
Yep.
squiggle and it's, well, be careful. It's funny.
Yeah. But anyway, so Sleeper, I swear I opened that app to like not that long ago, and it was like a couple of months away from our draft, And then I opened it up today and it says 6 days.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. Football's almost here already.
Well, I mean, football literally is here. There has been a football game.
Well, yeah, I know. But I mean, like, the regular season is like right around the corner.
Correct. It's almost September.
Yeah. Almost hunting season again.
Wake me up when
Doesn't feel
September
like
ends,
it.
you know?
Doesn't feel like it because it's 105 goddamn degrees, but apparently we bought our vehicle and got it out of there in just the right amount of time because it wasn't like 25 minutes later after we left that town that they had a storm come through with baseball sized hail. As we were pulling out of town, the severe thunderstorm warnings were going off on the radios and stuff. I was like, I was lucky because our vehicle we were buying was sitting outside.
Fun.
That'd have been the shits. Well, I mean, I'll buy it still. Just knock off, $8,000 or $9,000. Thank you very much.
With your luck, the hail would have started the minute you signed the papers.
Right. Well, I mean, technically, it's not official until the check goes through. So, yeah.
Yeah, sure, man.
But yeah, it would be my luck though. I get everything all signed off. I give them the check, and then I'm pulling out of town. And here's baseball-sized hail. The good thing is I was covered because I bought my insurance today. I made sure that the insurance lady knew that we were getting a new vehicle, and I was like, okay, so how does that work? Because technically the vehicle's not on my plan yet. And she's like, well, because it's a new purchase, you have like you have coverage basically so long as you get it added within 30 days within the purchase. I'm like, okay. And she's like, plus, because you bought your insurance today, that can be a little bit complicating. But she's like, it's not that big of a deal because I have 48-hour authority. So she's like, if something happens, like you hit a deer on the way home after buying the vehicle, even though you bought your insurance today, I would still be able to get you insured. So I was like, oh, that's nice. So yeah, we went through Progressive again because it ended up being the cheapest because I've been on Progressive with my folks. And because I went from my folks and started my own plan, that they call it like a loyalty discount.
Mm.
So that's another reason why my plan was cheap.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited to ever have to deal with that.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't matter though. My car's barely worth having fucking full coverage on at this point.
Well, you'd be surprised. Like I didn't think my truck was worth. I thought my truck was worth like $3,500, $4,000, and then found out it was worth $8,700, and that's to the bank. So that means I could technically sell that thing for probably $9,000 or $10,000. So it's just because of the package it is. It's like the Z71 package, which is the upgraded towing package for that truck, which makes it more valuable. So plus it has an engine in it that's notorious for going 500,000 miles and not having an issue. So it's like one of Chevy's few really, really good engines they had. But I don't know.
Now I'm looking just because I can tell you what. I think it's that one.
Are you blue booking or what are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I don't. Cool. That's fine. I hate the way they've changed this site.
Right. I too agree with you because I was just on Blue Book not that long ago. So the banks are not the banks. They have their own thing that they type into, and it just
They
fills it
still
all
use
out.
Kelly Blue Book. They just don't have to use the shitty version of it we do.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They
Yeah.
already have the stuff that like all they have to do is get the VIN number, and they just put the VIN number in there, and it fills it all out, and it gives them the price of that specific vehicle.
You know, for not a trade-in, but for a private party sale of my car, it's worth more than I thought it would be.
I told you.
And-
Vehicle like resale on vehicles right now is ridiculous. I was just telling you that fucking a
Well, yeah,
vehicle
but
that has a rebuild title, they're still selling for $30,000 and it has 125,000 miles on it.
they've always
Like,
done
what the
that.
fuck are you
That's not
talking
news
about,
for
dog?
me. Like that wasn't news for me. My car is literally worth more now than when I got it.
Uh-huh.
That's what confuses me.
That's what's fucking crazy.
Because my car was worth, yeah. Because I remember, because when I had traded my truck for it, it was a really stupid deal, and I'm like, yeah, but nobody else wants to buy my fucking truck, and I can't afford the gas. So I made
Right.
the deal that was available to me that made sense to me at the time,
Uh-huh.
and it's worked out. I've had this car for fucking ever now, so who cares?
Right. Is
If
it
I-
really a bad deal if you have it for a really long time and
Right.
it serves its purpose?
Right? Yeah, apparently I
Like,
could sell my
you
car
know.
for like $6,000. That's crazy. I'd love it if
Like-
I actually could.
So the way I think about it is like, you know, if I bought a vehicle that had 200,000 miles on it and I knew I was paying more than what it was worth, but I had a guarantee that vehicle would go to 400,000 miles, it's still worth it. You got the worth out of the vehicle, you know. So it's just the problem is you don't know what, you know, if that vehicle is going to make it that far.
Right.
It's not like that's why Toyotas have such a high resale, is because they're known for going a million miles on a one motor, you know. Reliability is a very valued commodity in the automotive industry.
Yes. I still don't know, like, I want a new car. I'm never going to get one. I enjoy looking, but I still don't know what I actually want.
Right. That was me. I knew I wanted an SUV. I just didn't. I was okay with getting a van, but I didn't think I was actually going to get it. I thought I was going to end up with a Versa or an Equinox, or we actually really like Buicks.
I'm really glad you didn't pick a Buick. Buick hasn't made a good car since 1986.
I mean, their newer models are actually supposed to be pretty good, but
The ones that have been driven a total of 12 miles and no one actually knows if they're any good. Because my
No.
grandmother currently has a Buick, and it's the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen anyone own. And it's slightly older, but I don't really think
So-
Buick has progressed far enough to make that
they
matter.
pretty much say so. They're on the newest is like considered like the generation 3 or something like
Sure.
that. So like all the generations up to like 2021
Mhm.
are the first and second generation,
Uh-huh.
and they suck ass. And I seen that. I looked up the reviews and stuff like that. But then they did a whole bunch of upgrades and did a whole bunch of learning from their past mistakes. And then the 2022s through the 2024s. So the 2022, 2023, and 2024 are considered really, really good. That's when they changed motors. They went to the twin turbo system, and they don't have as much horsepower, but that's not what they're meant for. They're
Yeah.
luxury SUV that's supposed to be a family thing. So
I just, I don't. I get it. They changed stuff, but like everyone who's reviewed them has driven them 10,000 miles. They shouldn't have a problem. I don't
the ones
trust a single bit of it.
so the ones I was looking at, they were they still wanted like fucking $20,000 for a 2023 Buick that had been driven 168,000 miles.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no,
I'm just not buying
like,
a Buick. Look, to me, Buick is still at like what Kia felt like in like 2016. Yes, is
Right.
2016 when Kia got good? Yeah. But I still wouldn't have considered one until like 2021.
Right.
I want
Until
that
they get-
generation to significantly be used and prove to me that your cars
Right.
aren't shit.
So
Like,
yeah, so you're showing that
Buick's
you have
still too early for me to
genuinely-
care.
Like you've genuinely improved.
Yeah. Like
You know,
I can't buy
it's a
into it
consistency
until
thing.
later.
I guess that's fair. That's
Like
fair.
it's still
But
too early in the we fixed it because it's like, well,
right,
what if you didn't?
right.
And that's
But
probably
they
why I'm
are
still
really
stuck.
nice,
Yeah.
like on the inside and just how they're built, and they're a luxury vehicle
Hmm.
technically. They're still technically made by, they're still a GM vehicle.
Yeah.
Pretty much through and through. But it's just like the Equinoxes. They have really bad reviews for certain years. And then all the newer ones, like from the 2021s to 2026, they go to the new generation and they've got all of the upgrades from all of the past shitty mistakes and are
It's probably why
supposed to be good.
I'm still stuck. Like every time I go to look for a new car, it's like I'm looking at Ford and Toyota, and that's it. I don't care. I'm
Right.
not gonna. I'm
I
not
was
gonna
trying
lean
to.
out of that.
I can't remember the number one SUV. I looked up what the number one rated SUV for this year was, and I can't remember what it was. It was something weird that I did not expect. So I was expecting like a Toyota something. I don't think
The
it was Toyota.
Subaru Crosstrek.
No,
Well, in what size category?
mid-size SUV.
Yeah, the midsize is the Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid.
Yeah, it was a Toyota, but it's a Highlander.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to be a Highlander.
It
For one, I
it's a
think they're
Toyota.
butt ass ugly. I cannot say.
Well, yes, but
But my thing is, I would not mind having a Toyota, other than the fact that they fucking are terrible. They look worse than my van, I think. And
I don't. But you could have also just got a Toyota minivan. Check out the
True,
2026 Sienna. That thing's fucking
I did
clean.
actually. So I did actually look at one of those, but they wanted $28,000 for one that had 20,000 miles more. Because it's a Toyota, it has a higher resale.
Well, yeah, because
So-
literally they never die.
Right.
We can
Yeah.
sit here and do our silly little argument over, who's better, Ford or Chevy, and then there's Toyota laughing as every Ford ever and every Chevy ever has died, and the shittiest Toyota from 30 years ago still runs better than those did factory new. It's just how Toyota works. I don't know.
I know.
It's stupid.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. But I also think it's dumb that like the majority of newer vehicles, you type in like what's the lifespan of this vehicle, and this 2026 vehicle, 200,000 miles.
Yeah. Well, that's
With
the expected
major
lifespan
upgrade-
of like all of it, to be fair.
Right, which to me is like crazy. It's like, I think it's just it's dumb that I feel like at this point in life that we should be able to build a vehicle that they could be like, oh, they consistently make it to 400,000 miles or 300,000 miles. It's just all vehicles are just 200,000 miles and they shit the bed.
Well, that's kind of literally how it's always been.
I know, but my thing is like we can't
No,
figure out how to
because
keep up.
wear and tear exists. And you got to remember the expectation is 200,000 miles is where it's expected to die, because 70% of people don't take care of their vehicles and they die before 50,000 miles.
That's true.
And it's a 5% of people that get it past 200,000, but that, and the average lifespan is 200,000 because by then people just get rid of it or are done, or unfortunately we haven't figured out how to make, seals better and gaskets better. So 200,000 miles is where things start to wear out and people just don't want to fucking deal with it.
Right.
Because,
Which is
well, it's
crazy
going to
because,
cost
like-
me $7,000 to fix it, or I can go put $5,000 down on a new car and move on. I'm out.
Right. Well, it blows my mind that like all you have to do is keep the oil changed, and that goes a long fucking way. Yes, you want to get your differentials oil changed every 100,000 miles or whatever it is. And then there's checking transmission and all that. So, yeah, there's stuff you can do, but just keep the oil changed, dog. Your engine will last so much longer if you just consistently do that. And there's so many people that just, I've never had an oil change, and I got 80,000 miles on my vehicle.
Yep.
Then you open the plug open, and it comes out like sludge. it's no longer a liquid, and somehow the engine was still running. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. And it's weird because I don't think I've ever, like, my family has ever owned a vehicle that didn't live past 200,000 miles.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we've just been really lucky, or if it's just because we maintain our vehicles.
It's that, and then like I don't know. It's also this fun thing of like the big struggle is like, will my vehicle make it that far? I don't know, because I didn't buy it new. So who knows how it was handled for the first 90,000 miles that was put on it.
Right.
Yeah,
Like even this new vehicle I bought, it has 70,000 miles on it.
yeah,
That could have been 70,000 miles of like people drove it like a cop car, you know.
yeah,
But the one thing I did do, like when I start it, stop it, you know, making sure there's no noises when it starts, making sure that while it's sitting there idling, there's no ticking and, you know, things that would indicate that there's been wear, like, hard miles on it. So I don't know. You can only just, I mean, it's really just a guessing. You could be the best mechanic in the planet unless you strip that sucker down to the pistons and stuff, and you're still taking a gamble on buying a used vehicle. But
mm-hmm.
also, I can't justify buying a used fucking vehicle. I can't justify buying a $50,000 vehicle that loses $20,000 worth of fucking price as soon as you drive it off the lot, you know?
Yeah. But like, also, that's a thing though that I think I understand, but also I don't because it's fucking stupid. You're buying a brand new vehicle. Do you plan to sell it within the next 5 years? No,
Probably not.
then the amount of money it loses when you drive it off the lot doesn't fucking matter. And like this idea that, well, I bought this one cheaper, but also who knows how it was treated for 70,000 miles. And like, that doesn't fix anything.
Well,
All you're doing is getting yourself a shittier version of a car. Yes, you're getting it cheaper, but like this idea that, well, it loses all of its value. No, it doesn't. Because for the first 5 to 10 years of that car's life, you weren't going to sell it anyways. So
it's not selling that gets me. It's that you drive it off the lot, it loses its value. You get into a car accident. Even if you drive it off the lot, you get T-boned as you're driving off the lot. The insurance company is not going to give you the money that you put down on that car to buy it.
yes, it would. What? Okay.
Because it then becomes a used vehicle.
Sure. Hold on.
It's not brand new.
I don't think that's accurate. So,
unless you have a specific insurance that covers like, okay, for however many miles you get, you know, I don't remember what it's called. There's a specific insurance that covers brand new vehicles. Like you have a coverage, like if you total a brand new vehicle and within a certain time of buying a vehicle, they will just pay to replace it with a new vehicle.
I want to.
Most insurance don't do that, I don't think so.
Okay. Let's just go to. Can I do that? Are any of these that year? I don't know what's going on. Yes, sure. I guess using Toyota is not fair, but I'm going to do it because it's easier. I don't care. Or I'm not. What the fuck? Oh. Some of these cars, I was trying to look at brand new. We got to go a year old because not every car is out yet. Fair, so we're going a year old, okay? Because, like, it takes a while for things to update and whatever. But, like, I can still buy a brand new 2026 Toyota Corolla. Can I? Yeah. That car, brand new from Toyota right now, starts at $25,000. Sorry, I'm getting Kelley Blue Book out. Because that's what the insurance would use to do the thing. And the fair purchase price for it on Kelley Blue Book, $25,000. Just buy the new fucking car. Insurance doesn't go based off that. You're seeing the value that it would be worth if you sold it to a random person. That's not what anybody ever has talked about. This is a thing that has bugged me because it's some bullshit that I've heard everybody say but makes no sense. That's not how insurance works, because that's not how the price of the car is determined. The minute you put a bunch of miles on it, yeah, it's worth less money, but that's what the miles do. You've destroyed the value of the car because you've driven it. That's a car with 70,000 miles is obviously worth less than a car with 0 miles. That's just how it works. Like, you've used the car. There are things that need replaced after mileage. That's just a thing. Just buy the new car. Like, okay, wow. I get the new car is more expensive. That's a different thing. But the value of it, that's not how it works. That's just not. And that was my thing, because I watched, like, my mom get in her car wreck with her car. And yeah, her car was 6 years old. They still almost gave her the same value of what she paid for the fucking thing. The only complaint she had was that all the new cars are way more expensive and it's annoying, which is fair. Yeah, that didn't cover a brand new car. Unfortunately, shocker. Cars keep getting shittier and more expensive, but that's just the world we live in. That's a different complaint.
Right.
But, like, that's not a real thing. Because insurance, as long as you have full coverage, is fully covering the car and its actual value at the moment. And that changes with miles and with years, obviously. But, like, you don't lose all of that as soon as you drive it off the lot, and insurance wouldn't cover that. That's not ever what has happened. Now, insurance will find reasons to not cover you, but that's a whole different insurance is a piece of shit argument, not a new cars aren't worth new car money thing, which maybe they're not. But that exact version of the argument, this one specific thing I'm focusing on, isn't real.
Right.
There's a bunch of other arguments to not buy a new car that I understand.
Yeah. And, you know, even if you drive the car for, like, you buy the car and it's brand new and you drive it for a year and then it gets in an accident, you know, it just sucks because you still owe on the original price of that car.
Yeah, that still sucks. Yeah.
So that's the other thing. Like, I would rather spend my money on one that's used and then that get, you know, at least
the issue is in a year you're still going to owe on it.
Right. But, like, I'd rather have a car go bad or get totaled at 20,000 miles, you know, $20,000 versus $48,000 when it was brand new 2 years ago, you know.
Well, sure, but that's a different argument. Because that's just also, how much do you want to spend on a car argument. That's a whole different.
Right. And then just honestly, it's the interest rates that kill everybody these days. You know.
Sure.
7% interest rate when cars were $20,000 brand new wasn't that bad. And now you got, like, even the Chevy Traverse, the brand new 2026 Chevy Traverse. They're $63,000 brand new.
Yeah.
For, like, the nice one, the high country and stuff. That's fucking stupid for no more than what they are. You know?
Yeah.
Cool, they got all the sensors and shit on them, but, like, from the 2024s, which were $40,000 to $63,000, there's really not anything else on them that's other than they look a little different. They have the same sensors. Literally, you could interchange them. You could take them out of the brand new one and put them in one that's 2 years older, and they're the same fucking goddamn part number. So why the fuck are we paying $25,000 more for the one that's 2 years newer?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I can understand, like, you have a vehicle that, like, you know, from this year to this year, you have a significant advancement in technology.
Yeah.
But every year they seem to be like, oh, they're slightly different looking, but they basically have the same shit in them. Why are we paying astronomical prices for them?
Yeah.
But anyway, I should probably think about moseying to bed.
That's fair.
Tomorrow. This ended up being a longer episode than I expected. Talk about them goddamn cars.
But cars are fun to talk about, but also meh.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess Wonder wants to leave. He doesn't want to talk about cars. So I guess
Car
without
out.
further ado, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.